In September 2024, someone called Transport for London's IT help desk. They were polite, patient. They said they needed a password reset. And then, over a series of carefully placed calls exactly like that one, they worked their way inside one of the most critical infrastructure networks in the United Kingdom. 2 teenagers, 4 days, a city of 9 million daily journeys, and the largest cybercrime prosecution in British history. Transport for London manages the entire public transport network for a city of 9 million people. The Underground, the buses, Thalha ride, the Oyster card system. On an average day, 9 million journeys run through TfL systems. When the intrusion began on August 31, 2024, the 2 people behind it were 17 and 18 years old. On July 16, 2026, a UK judge sentenced them to 5.5 years each. The NCA is calling it the biggest cybercrime prosecution in British history. The 2 men are Owen Flowers, now 18 years old, and Thalha Jubair, now 20 years old. Both were described by the NCA as leading members of Scattered Spider, a cybercriminal collective also tracked under the names Octotempest, UNC 3944, and Octopus. The group is known for one thing specifically: social engineering. They do not find 0 days. They call people. The technique is called vishing, voice phishing. An attacker calls a company's help desk or identity verification team, impersonates an employee, and talks their way into a password reset, an MF, a re-enrollment, or a new device registration. What makes this effective is the human element. Help desk staff are trained to be helpful. They want to solve problems. And if an attacker knows enough about the target organization from LinkedIn data or old breach records, they can pass a verbal identity check without ever needing technical access. In TfL's case, the intrusion ran from August 31st to September 3rd, 2024. By the time it ended, 148 systems were inoperable. All 27,000 TfL employees had to come into the office in person to get their passwords reset, because the organization could no longer trust its own remote identity verification. Dial a Ride, the booking service that gets vulnerable Londoners around the city, went down. Applications closed for Oyster photo cards used by London's children and young people. The contactless ticketing extension slipped. Refunds crawled. Customer data was accessed. Names, email addresses, home addresses where TfL held them. Oyster refund data was potentially included, with bank account numbers and sort codes for around 5,000 people. The NCA and CPS put total losses and recovery costs at £29 million. The larger number in the NCA's announcement is worth sitting with. Investigators say a successful network shutdown, which the attackers apparently intended, based on their own messages, could have cost the UK economy up to £56 billion. It stayed hypothetical because TfL pulled its own network down first to contain the intrusion before the attackers could execute. Flowers was arrested at home on September 6, 2024, 3 days after the TfL intrusion ended. Officers found him at his computer mid-attack on 2 U.S. healthcare organizations, SM Healthcare Corporation and Sutter Health. Investigators seized laptops, tower computers, hard drives, and USB sticks. One laptop held a screenshot of active network connectivity to TfL infrastructure, along with videos Flowers had recorded of Jubair moving through TfL systems during the attack. The 2 were messaging on Telegram throughout. In those messages, Flowers acknowledged that locking the healthcare systems down might kill some 90-year-old on life support. He continued anyway. His arrest is what stopped him. The charge both men pleaded guilty to on June 22, 2026 was Section 3, ZIA, of the Computer Misuse Act 1990. It is the most serious computer crime charge in UK law, with a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. The CPS says Flowers and Jubair are believed to be the first hackers ever successfully convicted under it. The legal standard requires recklessness as to whether the attack caused or created a significant risk of serious damage to human welfare. What they admitted to in court satisfies that standard. Jubair's legal situation does not end here. A federal complaint unsealed in New Jersey in September 2025 accuses him of computer fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracies across roughly 120 network intrusions and at least 47 U.S. victims between May 2022 and September 2025, with more than $115 million paid in ransoms. The maximum exposure across all U.S. counts is 95 years. Extradition has not been addressed publicly by either government. As for Scattered Spider, the NCA says the arrests effectively halted the group, citing Microsoft's assessment that activity was materially degraded. At the same time, the NCA acknowledges other criminals may keep using the name. The technique Scattered Spider made famous is not finished. Vishing help desks, building victim-branded credential harvesting pages, social engineering, FA enrollment. That is the playbook now, and other groups are running it. The fix is not a firewall rule, it is procedural. Verify identity on password resets. Verify identity on new device enrollment. Verify identity on any MFA change. Not by asking questions an attacker can answer with LinkedIn and a breached database. Verify through a secondary channel the attacker cannot intercept. A callback to a number on file, a supervisor confirmation, an in-person process. TfL learned that lesson at a cost of £29 million and 4 days of network chaos. If you are in IT or security, hit subscribe. We are tracking how these threats evolve and what they mean for your organization. 2 teenagers, 4 days. A city of 9 million daily journeys, and the largest cybercrime prosecution in British history. Cyflix. Digital mysteries. Real stories.